Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you walked in there in the first place? Well, it's probably happened to most of us. So, in this video, we're going to explore the fascinating world of memory and delve into the concept of forgetting. Let's get started. So, what is forgetting? Forgetting is the process of losing or failing to retrieve information stored in our memory, which means there is a process of losing information that is stored or just simply failing to retrieve information once heard or maybe seen. Now, there are two types of theories of forgetting. First type is the decay theory, and the second type is the interference theory. Now, according to the decay theory, the memories fade away over time when they are not used. Kind of like the movie Inside Out, whenever those memory balls fade away.
Oh. Yes, that is critical information. Glitter Storm, Honey Pants,
Forget him!
Hey, bring those back! They're in the dump.
Now, interference theory is when it happens when an old or new memories disrupt the recall of the other memories. This means exactly how it sounds, when an old memory or a new memory disrupts other memories. So now, just like the previous theories, there are two theories, there's also two types of forgetting. The first type is retroactive interference, and the second type is proactive interference. So retroactive interference occurs when newly learned information interferes with the recall of older memories. A good example for this would be, just imagine you're trying to remember your old phone number from several years ago. You recently changed your number, and the new one is constantly on your mind. This is an example of retroactive interference. The new phone number is making it harder to remember the old phone number. Now, proactive interference happens when previously learned information interferes with the ability to remember newly acquired knowledge. So let's say you learn to play the guitar using a particular hand position for the chords. Later on, you decide to learn to play the piano, and the hand positions for the piano chords are different. Your previous knowledge of the guitar chords might interfere with your ability to quickly learn and remember the new hand positions for the piano. In this case, the old knowledge is causing proactive interference when trying to remember the new information. Now, what causes us to forget things? Well, there are three things that can cause us to forget. The first thing I want to mention is encoding failure. Encoding failure is the process of converting sensory information into a form that can be stored in a memory. Sometimes we forget things because they were never properly encoded in the first place. An example of this would be, imagine you meet someone at a party, but you don't pay attention to their name whenever they introduce themselves. Later, you can't remember their name because you didn't encode it effectively in your memory. Now, that is a perfect example of encoding failure. Now, the second thing I want to mention is retrieval failure. Retrieval is the process of bringing stored information back into conscious awareness. Sometimes we forget because we can't retrieve the information even though it's stored in the memory. So let's say you're trying to remember a friend's phone number, but it's on the tip of your tongue and you just can't remember it. That's also another classic example of retrieval failure. The information is there, but you just can't retrieve it at that moment. Now, the last thing I want to mention is motivated forgetting. Motivated forgetting occurs whenever we intentionally or unconsciously suppress or block memories, often because they were uncomfortable or distressing. So, let's say you had a traumatic experience in the past and you've repressed the memory of it. You can't recall the details of that event because your mind has suppressed it to protect you from emotional distress. Now that is what forgetting is all about.
Thank you for watching.